She didn't leave suddenly. There was no big fight, no dramatic exit, no goodbye that explained everything. She just slowly disappeared, while still being right there. And if you're watching this right now, maybe you're the one who watched it happen. Maybe you're the one it happened to. Or maybe you're the one who caused it, without ever meaning to. Here's what nobody tells you. Women don't lose interest randomly. They don't wake up one morning and decide to stop caring. That's not how it works. What actually happens is quieter, more painful, and completely invisible until it's too late. She tried to show you she was hurting, not once, not twice, over and over again, in small ways you never noticed. A dinner she made that you barely acknowledged. A conversation she started that you cut short. A moment she reached for you, and you were already somewhere else. And every single time, she noted it. Not consciously, but her heart did. There's a term in psychology called emotional withdrawal. And it doesn't happen because someone stops loving you. It happens because they got tired of loving you in a way that cost them everything, and gave back nothing. Stay with me here, because what I'm about to say might change the way you see every relationship in your life. Pause 1-5. S. She wakes up early on your birthday, plans the whole day, books the restaurant you mentioned 3 months ago, because she remembered even when you forgot you said it. She gets ready, she smiles, she reaches across the table and squeezes your hand. And you say, "Thanks, this is nice." And then you pick up your phone. She didn't make a scene, she didn't cry, she just looked down at her plate and something inside her went very, very quiet. That quiet, that's not peace. That's the sound of someone deciding not to expect anything anymore. It didn't happen in one moment, it never does. It's 1,000 small moments stacked on top of each other like weight no one sees being added. The times you said "I'm tired" instead of "tell me how your day went." The times you chose the screen over her eyes. The times she dressed up for you, and you didn't notice. The times she cried in the bathroom instead of in your arms, because she'd already learned your arms weren't safe enough. Here's the psychology behind what's actually happening. Humans, especially women, are wired for reciprocity in emotional relationships. Not perfection, not grand gestures, just the simple, consistent feeling that their presence matters. When that reciprocity disappears, not all at once but slowly, the brain begins to protect itself. It starts reducing vulnerability, it stops initiating, it builds walls that look, from the outside, like coldness.
But it's not coldness, it's armor. Psychologists call this protest behavior. When someone feels emotionally neglected, they first try harder. They initiate more, they communicate more, they give more. They're hoping you'll notice. They're sending up signal flares. But when the signal flares go unnoticed long enough, they stop sending them. They don't get angry, they get quiet. And that quiet? That's the most dangerous sound in a relationship. Here's what most people don't realize. Being taken for granted doesn't just hurt, it teaches. It teaches someone that their love isn't valuable enough to be noticed, that their effort isn't worth acknowledging, that showing up fully, being vulnerable, being present, being soft, is a liability, not a gift. And once someone has been taught that enough times, they unlearn the behavior. They stop being soft. They stop initiating. They stop trying to fill a space that never appreciated being filled. You didn't just lose her attention. You trained her to protect herself from you. Now here's the part that nobody wants to hear. Most of the time, the person doing the taking for granted doesn't know they're doing it. They're not cruel. They're not malicious. They're just comfortable. And comfort, in relationships, is where love goes to slowly die. Because comfort says, she'll always be here. Comfort says, I don't have to try today. She knows I love her. Comfort says, I'll make it up to her later. But later never comes. Or it comes too late. The cruelest thing about comfort is that it feels like security. But to the person on the other side of it, it feels like abandonment in slow motion. She wasn't asking for everything. She was asking for something. to be seen, to be chosen. Not once, not on special occasions, but in the small, ordinary, forgettable moments. Because those moments are actually the ones that matter most. So what do you do with this? First, understand that attention is not affection. Affection without attention is empty. Saying, "I love you," while never truly seeing her is not love. It's habit. Second, notice before she has to ask. The moment someone has to beg for appreciation, something has already broken. Be the person who notices the small things. The effort she put into dinner. The way she remembered something important to you. The quiet way she shows up every single day. Third, choose her daily. Not just when it's convenient. Not just in the beginning when everything is exciting. Choose her on the Tuesday evenings when nothing special is happening. That's where love is actually built. Because here's the truth, the scariest, most important truth in all of this. The person who makes someone feel taken for granted never believes they were doing it. They always thought they were doing enough. She didn't lose interest in you. She lost the energy to keep hoping you'd notice her. There's a difference, and that difference is everything. The love was never the problem. The love was always there, right up until the very end. That's actually what makes it so devastating. She loved you through every moment you failed to see her. She just couldn't keep doing it alone. If you recognized yourself in this video, that's not a bad thing. That recognition is the beginning of change. It means you still care enough to look honestly at yourself, and that matters more than people realize. The question is, what will you do with what you now know? If this hits something real inside you, drop a comment below. Tell me, was there a moment in your own life where you felt unseen? Or a moment where you realized you weren't seeing someone else clearly enough? You don't have to share everything. Even just saying, "This was me," helps more people find this video and feel less alone in what they're carrying. And if this series has meant something to you, subscribe. Because this work, understanding ourselves, our relationships, our patterns, it's not a one-time conversation. It's a lifelong one.